It's one of Phil's favorite songs.
And everybody just became very quiet as lights are turning off just for this session. Great.
Feeling is the secret.
Absolutely. Just hide the secret until the end. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please be ready to take notes, and if possible, be in a quiet place. And as we are going to do some exercises during this session that will benefit you from the reason you are here, because you have a dream. Okay?
What do you suggest I tell them?
Perhaps you're underestimating the positive effect that your career transition can have on your children.
The positive effect. Make about 90 grand a year now. Unemployment is what, 250 bucks a week? Is that one of your positive effects? Well, we'll get to be cozier because I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage on my house, so maybe we can move into a nice fucking one-bedroom apartment somewhere. And I guess without benefits, I'll be able to hold my daughter as she, suffers from her asthma that I won't be able to afford the medication for.
Well, tests have shown that children under moderate trauma have a tendency to apply themselves academically as a method of coping.
Go fuck yourself. That's what my kids will think.
Children's admiration is important to you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I doubt they ever admired you, Bob.
Hey, asshole, aren't you supposed to be consoling me?
I'm not a shrink, Bob. I'm a wake-up call. You know why kids love athletes?
Oh, because they screw lingerie models.
That's why we love athletes. Kids love athletes because they follow their dreams.
Well, I can't dunk.
No, but you can cook.
What are you talking about?
Your resume says that you minored in French culinary arts. Most students there work in a fryer at KFC, but you bus tables at Il Picador to support yourself. You get out of college, and you come and you work here. How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy?
Good question.
I see guys who work at the same company for their entire lives, guys exactly like you. They clock in, they clock out, and they never have a moment of happiness. You have an opportunity here, Bob. This is a rebirth. If not for you, do it for your children.
Hello, I'm Phil Lonsway, and I'm a certified dream builder coach and a certified MAP practitioner. And I want to thank everybody for coming today. I really appreciate you coming. We've all had wake-up calls in our life. When I saw that clip, I thought it was incredibly powerful. We've all been through something like that once or twice. We've created a program that is unlike any other coaching program that's out there right now. It's been in 25 years in the making. And I'm blessed to have Aaron and Luis work with me. They're both dream builder coaches and certified MAP practitioners. And what we've done, and I'll get more into more detail with this, we have created a program that combines both of these protocols, where we're not only going to help you co-create the life of your dreams, at the same time, we're going to eliminate any blocks that may come up, including limiting beliefs, painful memories, challenging emotions. And at the same time, we are going to treat the conscious and the unconscious mind together. And like I said earlier, this has been 25 years in the making. When I was 50 years old, I found myself in a hospital. I'd been fired from 3 jobs and I was ready to live on the streets. It made absolute perfect sense. I'll just go do that. I've had it with life. I've hurt everybody in my life tremendously. The people at my last job, it really went out of their way to help me, and I let them down. And so the best solution was just give up and go live on the streets. I had it. Unfortunately, the universe had different plans for me, and they weren't going to let me leave the hospital until I found myself in a substance abuse center. Met some guys there that were incredibly helpful to me. I spent 90 days there, changed my whole concept of who our creator was, a loving, caring, giving force that wanted the best for all of us, and that I lived in a friendly universe. And then on August 1st, 1998, I read a book that someone gave to me from the treatment center that Emmett Fox wrote. It was the Sermon on the Mountain. And there was a take in there that said, you have complete dominion, complete control of your life by the way you think. Now, I never heard that before. I said, what does this mean? I control my life by the way I think? So I read all of Emmett Fox's books. Someone gave me a cassette copy of Wayne Dyer's Erroneous Zones. So I got all of Wayne Dyer's books, Deepak Chopra. I went to their workshops. All the great Hay House teachers I read. And I jumped into this with both feet, and I wanted to learn as much about how the universe worked. Who's God? I studied all the world's religions. Like I said, went to the workshops. Had the opportunity to work with this incredible woman who was a silver mind control teacher and she was also a science of mind practitioner. And I had the opportunity to work with her for 2.5 hours every week. She took me to this treatment center with her where she taught meditation. And then she asked me to go ahead and take over her job for her when she went to India to teach addiction. And I spent that 25 years volunteering and teaching a course that I called basically a lifestyle course, how to change the way you thought and how to change the way you lived. And that was one of the most rewarding things I did, but let me regress a little bit. So I have no job, no money. I'm not living on the streets, but I had a beat up house and a car that had a bunch of dents in because I couldn't get it in the garage without hitting something. One of the companies that had fired me hired me back. I was able to make enough money to pay off my credit card bills. And then I started applying all these principles that I'm about to pass along to you. I started to change the way I thought. I wanted to figure out just how important my thoughts were. And then the Course in Miracles that I studied said, every thought you have creates form at some level. Buddha said, nothing, Shakespeare said, nothing's good nor bad unless thinking makes it so. Buddha said, the world we see is the direct results of what we have thought. Jesus said, as you think, so shall you be. So all these people were talking about the power of our thoughts. And that's what I started studying. And within a very short period of time, I was the vice president of the company I went to work for. I was teaching these principles for 15 years. And the friend of mine that owned the treatment center passed away, and they closed it. And I really, really missed teaching. And I'd taken Bob Proctor's courses. I mean, I took all this, went to all the seminars, especially Esther Hicks. I just loved Esther and Jerry Hicks, went to all of hers. And like took the Bob Proctor course. So I found Mary Morrissey online, and I signed up for her course, which was the Dream Builder course. And that Dream Builder course coincided with everything I'd ever taught before. And this is what I wanted to do, was become a teacher and create a course that was different than most of the courses are out there. I'd been to Tony Robbins and Jack Canfield. You guys, most of you been to a lot of the seminars, and the problem, they're great. Yeah, Dr. Joe Dispenza, I went to all his stuff, but after a couple of months, it kind of wears off. What we're about to teach you is going to become a working part of your mind. We're going to help you change the way you think. Each one of us, Aaron and Luis and I, everyone that we invited, but we believe that you are much, much more powerful than you ever imagined yourself to be. We're going to help you go within and discover that power. Now, yeah, this is 90% of the research that I showed. 90% of people never follow their dream, never go after their dream. I did a lot of research on that, and hospice workers did studies on regrets of dying people, and they said the same thing, that a lot of them was that they never really followed their dream or went after their dream. They did what other people wanted them to do, not what they wanted to do. And one of the things in my study I found interesting was the number 2 regrets that they didn't smile more. But this is an astounding figure. But most of us go through this because we got life in our way, or we don't think we can do it, or we're 80 years old and it's too late. We don't have a vision for ourselves. Now, Helen Keller said the worst thing about not having sight is having sight but no vision. So we are going to help you create a vision for yourself, and a vision in all areas of your life, your love, your health, your vocation, your time, and money, freedom. Not just 1 or 2. This isn't just a money seminar, but we're going to do something unique. Again, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to help you create and clear. Now, let me get back to 3 years ago. A friend of mine that I'd known for 10 years, and we went to some seminars, some Esther Hicks seminars together, and I took a couple of her classes, and she did a protocol that she called MAP on me about 10 years ago for the game of golf. And 2 weeks later, I won the golf tournament. So I'd always remembered that. Well, she was here about 3 years ago for Thanksgiving, and she'd always told me about her MAP program, and she had convinced me that it would work perfectly, that I should adapt using that MAP program with the Dream Builder program. And I'd always wanted to do something unique, something different. Everybody's got some programs out there, and they're all talking about limiting beliefs and what really, really blocks you from progressing forward, but no one really tells you how you're going to do it. But this is what we do. In all 4 of these areas of life, we're going to help you find out and discover and create your vision for your life, so you can be one of those 10% that really go after what you really, 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 really want to do. Because you can be, do, or have whatever you want. Now,
well, let me share.
Go ahead, Rosie.
This presentation is for people that really is, if you're feeling that something is better for you, that it is there, but all of a sudden you get into your life and you feel overwhelmed. And you have that deep dream big, like probably moving to the US, as some of you are here, and just moved from Chile to the US for a better life. What is that? How do you build that life? If you are really looking to overcome some limiting beliefs. You know, I have been working with Phil and with Erin during all this year in the dream building program, and I have to say, there was a lot of limiting beliefs that I had been working, and you might be surprised, but that's the case. Maybe you want to reach certain goal. What is that goal? Or experience something in life. What is that experience that you are looking for? You know, and most importantly is sometimes we want to feel worthy and fulfilled, but that is one of the things that we get blocked. You know, and basically we have all these dreams, but how do you feel? We got to the feeling. Phil is explaining to us how's your thought process. But what about the thought process goes into your emotions? You know, that feeling of, I don't want to try it because what happens if I fail? Or what happened if I succeed? What if I have this experience? How do you align your mind to do that? No, sometimes we find ourselves, as Phil did, and Erin probably will tell you, and I did at one particular part of my life, when I really lost track of where I wanted to go, what was my purpose. And you know, I realigning my mind, my emotions through this program just helped me to do that. So maybe you don't know what you truly want. I ask people what you really want, and people, it's very hard to explain what you really want. So I ask you again, what you really want. Sometimes those limiting beliefs are there. Just so you know, we have like 5 negative emotions and 1 positive emotions. What does that mean? That you need at least 5 positive emotions just to mitigate 1 negative emotion. That's simple. But our mind is prepared to surviving. So that's why we have so much negative thoughts in our mind. So if you feel stuck and unaccountable, you are in the right place. So go on, Phil.
Oh, well, I telling you this this woman that I've been working with comes over to the house. Her name was Colette Stryker, and she tells me about her MAP program and that I should get involved, use it with the Dream Builder program. And she also introduced me to a lady by the name of Diane Ferguson. And the next week I started working with Diane Ferguson. Then I enrolled in Colette's Dream Builder coaching class. And as there's no coincidence out there, I call them booga booga moments. A friend of mine that I had worked with during the time that I was going to the treatment center, who was going to go work at Home Depot, and I talked him out of it. And not that there's anything wrong with Home Depot, but he ended up going back to school, getting his master's degree, got a job with a consulting firm, ended up going to Saudi Arabia, working, came back to the United States, came and saw me and says, you know, what do I do now? I said, well, I know this lady by the name of Colette Stryker. He spent 1 month with her. So he calls me the week after I met with Colette about getting involved in the Dream Builder program. He calls me and he says, listen, I'm now working for an international company, and I'm president of North American operations over 4 factories. I'm flying into San Antonio for a meeting. Can I come and see you? Now I'm in Houston. San Antonio's 3 hours away. I said, sure, if you want to drive over here. So he drives over. Again, this is the week after I saw Colette. And he comes over and I said, well, how you doing? What made you come and see me? He said, I wanted to thank you for all your help. And I wanted to let you know that I made $750,000 last year. Now, this was the guy that was going to go work at Home Depot. And I said, well, I appreciate you coming to see me. I said, what about the time you spent with Colette? He says, I have no idea what happened, but it changed my life, along with everything that you had taught me. And so I had those, and I asked him, what should I take this MAP program? And he said, yes, it'll work perfectly with what you teach. And that's how I got involved with Colette Stryker and her son Val and the Make Anything Possible program, which we've adapted and we call our Superconscious Dream Builder program, which after a lot of thought and getting pushed by Diane and by Colette into, incorporating that into what I taught, It fits like a glove, and I've used it on a lot of different my clients, and I've had incredible results. People starting new businesses. I had one client that came to me at COVID, and uh, and him and his wife came to see me about something else, and then his company went out of business, and he said, I'd always wanted to start my own company. Long story short, within 2 years, he had $1 million company, and he was using the principles that I taught him. He was a great, great student because he'd been a professional athlete and was used to being coached, and he followed my procedures and my uh, principles to the T. And then he came and saw me about 3 months ago, and he bought another company. So, and I have great results like that. And by the way, I've used all these principles that I'm going to teach you, and we're going to teach you in my life, and I'm living the life of my dreams. I have the most beautiful, incredible, talented wife. I have a beautiful home on the golf course. I mean, I have an incredible family. I can do whatever I want, and I always wanted to teach. I wanted to teach something that nobody else had. I wanted to bring this to people that really, really have never created a vision for themselves, because we don't realize how powerful we really are. Like I said, you can be, do, or have whatever you want, and we're going to bring that out in you. Now, this is not something that, like I said, it's going to be a webinar, and you're going to go. Maybe if you don't take the course, but if you take the course, this is going to be a working part of your mind. We're going to change the way you think. You're going to learn how to attract what you want in your life, and it gets easier and easier and easier. And then coincidences happen. The right person show up, the right situation. It gets better and better, and the right people show up, and right coincidence. I call them booga booga moments. I had one of my clients that in Washington D.C. had a 2-year-old child, and they had so many coincidences that in booga booga moments, the 2-year-old child was going around in its stroller going booga booga all the time, or its walker. So booga booga moments will happen to you. You'll start attracting what you want. We just have to get out of the way. We're going to teach you how to do this. This is not difficult, but you'll need to follow the lessons. You'll need to do the homework, and then we're always going to be there. So we're going to help you learn how to be a manifester, a co-creator. We're all on this planet to co-create. That's why we're here. We came to this earth school environment, this time-space reality, to co-create. Our creator put all these skills within us. So what we think we become, what we feel we attract, what we imagine we create. We're always creating whether we want to or not. So no matter what you're doing, you're creating. So you can create your life by default or design. We're going to help you create it by design. You have that power to do it. You really, 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 really do. And that's what we're going to help you do. Any questions?
Well, I have to say that you are very powerful, Phil, because you just put Erin and myself, two good-looking guys and smart, with you.
Well, and I do want to repeat, I used all these principles. When I told you I was going to live on the streets, I really meant that. So we all will sometimes have falls in our life, or like the clip we showed you, maybe we get transitioned, because I feel sometimes if we're in a situation that our soul's not happy with, if we don't move, the universe will move us. And a lot of people, yes, ma'am.
I was just going to say, y'all, that's me. That is me. I spent the last 40 years in relationship with the creator, but never, it felt like everything was forced. I'm going to tell you a really short story. The first 22 years of my life, I was under the impression that it was going to be my career because it was expected from everyone else and what they said that I was going into music. I made it through my second year of college before I physically broke down with illness and had to pull out. That sounds horrible, but it actually turned out to be the hugest blessing. I got the chance to reevaluate what I actually wanted. I was really sick and they found a virus in my um, muscles, in my heart, and in my brain. By the time I got it all worked out and I was coming out the other side, I got to go back to school. But that time I went back to school in psychology. And now we're sitting here. So thank goodness for those forced moves. But I don't want to wait any longer. I don't want it to be that long anymore. So cheers. Cheers to this program because it speeds everything up.
Yeah, one of the things it says on the slide, uncover your dream is what you really, really, really want to do. What I found out, most of us don't know what that dream is, or maybe we think it's too big. A lot of the challenges I have when working with clients like yourself is pulling out what that dream really, really, really is. Most people will write down what they think they're supposed to do. And what I wanted to tell you guys, I want you to think big. I want you to take your Harry Potter wand and go boom and create the dream of your life. What you really, really, really want to do, and believe that you can be, do, or have whatever you want because you can. We're going to help you do that. We're going to help you change the way you think because we have 60,000 thoughts a day. Most of them are negative, and most of them the same thoughts we had the day before. So where are we living? We're living in the past. And this neuroscience-backed system that we're going to help you with, the Superconscious Dream Builder program or the MAP program, whatever you want to call it, helps us go into the subconscious to find where those blocks are that are keeping us from achieving our dream or what we really, really want to do, or even conceiving it. There's nothing like it. There's less than 300 practitioners on this planet that can do this. This is a neuroscience-based program that is on the cutting edge of neuroscience, like I said, of neuroscience. There's more and more studies out there now. They're talking about manifestation and the power of our thoughts. James Doty just wrote a book, and he called it Mind Magic, but he's a neurosurgeon. He actually goes into the book and tells you which areas of the brain are working when we manifest. So this isn't a woo-woo thing. This is actual science can show you that we're doing this, whether we want to or not. And like I said, we're always creating, whether you know it or not. Most of us put our focus and attention on what we don't want because that's the way we're hardwired. So what do we attract? What we don't want. You know, Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination is the preview to coming attractions. So what we imagine, we create. But he also wanted to say, if we get into fear or doubt, we're using our imagination backwards. So what we're going to help you learn how to do, and this is the basis of the program, how to use your imagination to create the life of your dreams. And quit and stop attracting what you don't want. It's like, you know, when I wanted the ideal mate, partner, and I was lonely, and I was just getting back on my feet, and I wrote down my ideal life and wife, and one of the things that I started to realize is I was attracting mean, dysfunctional women, and then I looked at myself. Well, maybe I was a little mean and dysfunctional myself, so I had to stop doing that, and then my wife, Desiree, just showed up. I've had all these teachers in my life showed up. I had Master Del Pei, who studied in the caves up in Nepal. I mean, he just showed up in my life. A lot of the people that I'm working with met in the MAP program. You know, I didn't go looking for them. There they were. And the people I met in the MAP program are some of the most brilliant, spiritually evolved people I'd ever met in my entire life. And it was such a pleasure working with them. And that's kind of how I met some of you that are watching today. And that's how I met Aaron and Louise. So we're going to take the Dream Builder program and we're going to basically incorporate it into, and we've got a plan. It works. I've worked it with many, many people into the Dream Builder program. So What makes this a program that's different that most of the great teachers are teaching right now is not only are we going to help you live the life you're dreaming in all areas of your life, in your vocation, in your relationship, in your health and well-being, in your money, time, and freedom. As we go along, we're going to eliminate any of those blocks that come along. So when we finish the 16-week program, you're on your way. You're going to manifest a lot faster, and it's going to be easier. And you're going to go around going booga booga booga.
Okay, and thank you, Phil. And just so you know, also there's people that has such a clarity in their lives at a very early stage that they have this example. For example, let's look at it.
I love that video. I love that she thought about like the timing of, you know what, I want my weekends free, so I'm gonna like headline on Friday nights so I can party all weekend. That's so great. And it's like the kind of thing what, that's not the kind of thing that I would have ever considered before having these discussions with Phil, if I'm being honest. Partying may not be my thing, if I'm being honest. I don't think it ever was. But I appreciate it nonetheless. Um, so we just really want to get into it, if I'm being real. So paper, pencil, your phone, anywhere you can take some notes. I'd find that now. We're not quite there, but we're darn close. So go ahead and see if you can find that. Um, I just want to ask some questions. So if you can find your chat feature as well, woohoo, you can interact with us. We're kind of small, so I suppose if you unmuted yourself, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So you can go ahead and do that too as well. But we kind of just wanted to know, like, hey, where are you in your dream process? So how many of you have had an idea, sort of, like Dupa, how many of you have an idea of what your dream is, what the next big upgrade for you would be, even if it's partial? Do you have a thought? Yeah, okay, I'm seeing some heads. Yeah, you have some ideas. How many of you don't have a clue? You're like, I just know I want something different. And that's totally fine as well. By the way, if you feel uncomfortable sharing that, you can just stick it in the chat and send it straight to me. And the only reason I ask that is if that's where you are and creating or even like pushing past yourself into something brand new is difficult, it can help me and Phil and Luis and I know that maybe you need a little extra, but if not, don't worry about it. But that wouldn't be weird. That's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. So we're going to take a moment here to choose one of those categories of life. So whichever one of these quadrants, or even not even just a quadrant, but one of these words sticks out to you, you want to choose one of these because this is where we're going to focus on today. So decide if it's health, or if it's love, or if it's relationships, if it's your career, if it's time freedom, you want your weekends free to party, if it's money freedom because you like the really expensive clubs. I'm joking. You let me know if any of you are clubbers though, because I'd like to know. And actually, if you can, once you have one, the one that's sticking out to you, put that in the chat. I'm just curious to know if there's any patterns. Which one of these is speaking to you right now? Luis is busy sharing. Yeah, time and money freedom. Relationships. Yeah, yep. And that is such a broad one too. I guess they're all broad, but relationships of all sorts. Yep. Vocation and career. That was a big one.
I should say another career.
Yes.
I've got many.
Yeah. Get it, Carol.
But it's
Yes.
focusing on this one thing and getting that accomplished.
Yeah.
And then replicate it through other things. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, time and money again. Time and relationships. Okay, cool. I'll be interested to see how that factors in today. All right. So now that you've chosen a category, find where you can, your paper, your phone, whatever it is. I just want you to take, and Phil definitely wants you to take a couple minutes and get out all the things in that category that you do not want. Everything that you want to disappear, change, not see again, not feel, not think, not see. Get it all out. Get it all out of your system. Yeah, when I started doing this with Phil, some of the things on my don't want list included
Yeah. You see the
living.
picture of the girl down in the corner? That's kind of what Aaron looked like when we first started working.
That's what I look like when I first met Phil. Okay. Stuff on my don't list, goodbye list was like living financially day to day. I'm just being real. Feeling like no amount of work or knowledge was enough. Vacationless years. Ah, being invisible to people professionally and personally. Uh, Friends that were critical, judgy, closed-minded. Clients that don't value what I do was on the list. Ladies, hormone instability was on my list. And the great thing about knowing what you don't want is it helps you figure out what you do want. I'll give you just a few more seconds. I know once you get rolling on this list can never end.
And the beauty of this exercise, Erin, and everybody, is that you can keep on writing everything you don't want. And you have noticed that your mind already understands what is the negative side that you don't want in your life. It's amazing. And and you can go and on and on and on, and all of a sudden you have 20, 30, 40 items that, oh, in that area, I really don't want all of that. Yes. But
Yeah.
now you're putting attention into that.
Yeah. All the research shows that most of us don't know what we really, really, really want, but we really do know what we don't want. And sometimes you have to find out what you don't want in order to find out what you do want.
So that said, start wrapping up the last of the things you don't want and then shift your focus. Because now it's time for the big time. Write down just one thing in that category that you really, really, really do want. And as it starts to come to you, if you feel comfortable, share it in the chat. You want this thing to be just a little bit bigger than what you're comfortable with.
If you're not uncomfortable, it's not big enough.
Not that we're expecting anyone to come back with, yeah, I'm going to take over the world. That that's not what we're talking about. Don't take on the whole. Can I say enchilada? Don't take the whole enchilada at once because we only have a few minutes to back this up and shift into alignment. But do make yourself a little uncomfortable.
You know, a couple of you I know have time and relate or time and money. I had a client in Portugal who was a very successful businessman, and he had sold a resort. And we were talking. He said, "Phil, I made a lot of money doing that, but it wasn't any fun. It was a lot of hard work." He said, "And the worst thing, I didn't get to spend any time with my family or with my wife." And he says, he says, "I don't want to do that anymore." So we can make sure when you're figuring out how much income you want to make that you've got enough time for your family and have enough time to enjoy the money that you're going to bring into your life.
How you doing? Give me a hand raise if you've got something down that feels like it's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll give you a couple more seconds here. Meanwhile, I'm going to get vulnerable. All right, go Alice. I'm going to tell you guys about one of my dreams. So I have this really big dream. It's been developing since I started with Phil like 10 months ago. Pretty sure it was only 10 months ago. It's to use neuroplasticity coaching in order to create better leaders. Because if we have better leaders, then everyone and everything they influence would be better and from a higher place, right? The influence would just be gigantic. But I have this block, or I should say I had this block. I had this block in this belief that being invisible would keep me safe. Safe from judgment, safe from harsh critique, safe from rejection, safe from all kinds of things, if I'm being honest. But those two things don't work together very well. They don't really support each other. That's the truth. It's hard to be seen by leaders and valued by them if you're completely invisible. There you go. So I put this dream down in print, which is exactly what you're doing right now. And by putting it in print, everything started to come up. All the resistance, all the objections, all the, can I swear on here? Oh shit. All those. And then we moved through this and Superconscious addressed them and changed the neuroplasticity. So in the last 10 months, my frequency has changed and I'm no longer invisible. And everyone around me knows it. People started seeing me. I have found myself in the last 10 months with this program. I have found myself in front of, and now often in relationship with spiritual heads, program and conference namesakes that are asking me to come speak and do group sessions. I'm finding myself in front of people connected to government officials, people in crypto, people in international business, technology pioneers, leaders of all sorts. Last month, I found myself in front of an acquaintance who heard me explain what I do and could see by his own vision that more was coming and that it should go global. And he'd like to see my business plan early next year. You guys, this guy, his job is to find international humanitarian things for the World Bank to fund. I have no clue what it is that's going to be on my business plan next year. And I have no clue how it's going to happen. And one thing I've learned from Phil is I don't need to know. I'm totally comfortable in the unknown. It will drop when it drops. It will happen when it happens. It will become clear when it's supposed to become clear. And I'm just telling you that you can't do this and put this dream on paper without it growing and without it becoming bigger than you, because there is no such thing as a small dream. There's no such thing. So whatever you just put down, get ready for it to kick some doors in and change everything and everyone around you. Are you guys ready?
Aaron, you just mentioned something that's really, really, really important. And it's the biggest block that you will have to manifesting is your ego is going to tell you you have to figure out how it's going to happen. And one of my very good friends sent me a book about the hows. And it's important to just kind of let the universe handle the details. And I'll give you one quick example. I have a group that was building a holistic center. Some friends of mine are my clients in Washington, D.C., and he actually works for the World Bank, and his wife is a integrative doctor, and they were going to buy a theta machine which helps rewire the brain. It's new technology, and they were going to get it financed, but the company that owned it decided they weren't going to finance anymore. So they were beside themselves. They didn't know how they were going to get the theta machine that was going to be a part of their holistic clinic. And I just said, well, just hold on. Sometimes when you don't get what you want, that's the universe protecting you for getting something that wouldn't be beneficial to you or could be harmful. So just have patience. So make a long story short, Maurice is calling his mother's doctors in Utah, and the lady that answered the phone and he's talking to her, his mother's at a clinic, and they take up a conversation. Long story short, the lady he was talking to is the sister of the man that created this machine. Booga booga. So he then helps them find a machine at a reduced price and finances it for them. So everything came together. These are these synchronicities that come together, and it's important for us to get out of the way and let the universe handle the details. But it works if you just let go.
Yeah.
I just had an epiphany and wrote, the universe is helping me with our meditation program.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good, Carol. That's really good. Yeah. Did anyone else want to share? And there's no have to here. I just want to give you a second. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, Diana, do you see you? All right. So take a moment, focus on that one thing. Actually, since you're muted, do yourself a huge favor and say it out loud to yourself. No one else will hear you. So you're safe. Just say it out loud to yourself and just see what comes up. Just observe the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So just make some mental notes there, what you experienced. And then make a mental note there. Okay, what is the thing that you least want to experience when you say that out loud? An emotion, a feeling. What's the biggest one? The one that seems to be the most in the way. And if possible, give it a name. And if you feel okay with it, put whatever you named it in the chat. Yeah, fear is always my big one too. Yeah, you may notice resistance, objections, discomfort, powerlessness, various types of fear, all legit, all completely legit. Louise, I love this visual. This is fantastic. Okay, so now that you're looking at this, fear, trust, whatever it is, you're going to go ahead and rate this. 10 is like the most intense you have ever experienced this. 0 is, I'm not experiencing it at all. I don't even know where it went. You just want to go with your gut here, or your heart here, or your mind here, or whatever number your ego's throwing at you. All of that's totally fine. No one's going to judge this number. It's not set in stone. You just want to give it a number so you can kind of just watch what happens. Just give me the okay when you have a number that feels right to you. Okay, I'm going to throw Luis here for a loop. Sorry, Luis. Before we go much further, I just want to give you a quick rundown on what it is you're about to get into. A lot of you already know what this is like. If you don't, I just want to give you the 411 so that I can take as much of the mystery out of what's about to happen as possible. You need to kind of know what the superconscious actually does real quick. This is the short version. Since superconscious is in the name, Superconscious Dream Builder Journey, this might be a little helpful, right? So you need to know that the human mind has a conscious, an unconscious, and Luis has done us the amazing favor here of showing the conscious here at the top of the triangle and the subconscious or unconscious here at the bottom. You also have dormant memories that are outside of this triangle, and they get activated and then become active, and they come into the triangle whenever you need, say something, see something. All these associations pop in. And then you have this superconscious, this amazing genie. I like to call him a superhero. You can say genie if you want. But this is a part of you that gets to do all the magic. It's unaffected by trauma. It's unaffected by emotions. It's just totally in your corner. So you need to know that memories from conception onward are the basic structure of all behavior. If we change the memories, we change everything. So the superconscious has access to any memories that are active and has the ability to change those memories. That includes memory structures, triggered emotions, beliefs, behaviors, bodily sensations, woohoo, definitions, reconciling personality parts. You guys need to know everyone has personality parts. Thank goodness you need those. They help you run and be effective in your life. So, yay. But sometimes they kind of get stuck. They're created in tough situations. And what they learned at that time is no longer serving you now as a whole. And that's where the superconscious comes in, kind of helps them out and brings them back on board with the rest of you. By the way, the superconscious is not going to edit your story memory. That means that if your brother spit on your birthday cake when you were 12 and you still are eyeing him and giving him the stink eye today, you'll still remember that he spit on your birthday cake, but you probably won't be giving him the stink eye tonight. Make sense? Okay. Lastly, the superconscious is going to do this by treating the pain associated with these memories. It's going to do it gently. It's going to do it gradually, so as not to overwhelm you or cause you any excess distress or grief. That's just how it likes to roll. We're going to do this really, really quick, but you need to know that probably the fear, the trust issues, all the things, everything that's in that 8, that 5, whatever your number is, you probably didn't get here overnight. So it might take a few sessions. That's not a big deal. That would be completely normal. But you are going to see some change because the superconscious is on it. It's in your corner. So something is definitely going to happen. And now, disclaimer, okay? Disclaimer, by being on this call, we, as in Phil, Luis, and I, are taking that to mean that you completely understand that we are not diagnosing or treating anyone today in any legal sense of those words, as we are neuroplasticity coaches, not therapists or doctors. We also assume that you consent to some kind of neuroplasticity today via your own superconscious. If for some reason you are feeling a check in your spirit about that at the moment, that's okay. You can just tell your superconscious, hey, I don't consent, and nothing will happen, and you can just observe. Or you can also just turn down all the volume, take your earbuds out, and then anything I say won't trigger anything and you'll be in the clear. We'll leave that up to you, but give me kind of a, hey, I get it. We're all good here. Okay, sweet. Awesome. All right, you guys. So you probably have already done this. You're I realize you're on a webinar, so this might be a little difficult. Put yourself in the best situation you can to not be distracted. That silence your phone, close your door, whatever you need to do. Also just get comfortable. And I'm going to do a few things here just so you know. If you're new to this, the first thing I'm going to do is inform all your parts about what they can expect. The next thing you're going to hear me do is give a metaphor involving some goofy gophers. And then finally, we're going to look at your dream, the one you just wrote down, and we're going to have the superconscious address all kinds of things around it. Okay? I highly recommend closing your eyes. Through most of this, it helps you observe your inner world and any shifts that you may experience in emotions, feelings, sensations, beliefs, insights. Sometimes people get insights during this. Now just take a couple of natural but deep breaths at your own pace. And now I'm just going to start talking to your parts. So just go ahead and just listen and observe. Parts. Getting more satisfaction and having less pain is the main reason for treating and integrating parts. The superconscious can treat and heal trauma parts. And it does this by removing the negative emotions and pain from the trauma and replacing them with neutral or positive emotions. It then strengthens your positive coping skills with positive emotions before joining them with the main personality. It's important to know that parts you do not die or lose information. You simply exchange information with the main personality. Your part memory becomes exactly the same as the main personality's memory, sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with each other. And you'll be able to run the body at the same time without conflict. You'll still be able to keep the body and main personality safe and protected, but without emotions from the past distorting the present. Superconscious will treat a few units of pain and then stop. Superconscious will wait until a part has stabilized again before we treat some more. This is how the superconscious will do it so that it's very gentle and often completely painless. We repeat this process, treat, rest, until we have treated all the emotional pain associated with the part during the trauma. Parts. By joining the treatment team, all of you, even the smallest, weakest parts, will have an equal vote on the treatment team to decide the amount of pain treated and the duration of the pauses between treatments. Superconscious and you will adjust the treatment process to be respectful, slow, and safe. Parts, please join the treatment team now. Superconscious, imagine the brain is a field, a smooth playing field with no bumps. When a phobia, negative belief, painful memory, or part becomes active and moves onto the field, gopher holes pop up in a particular sequence. You can treat the emotion by remembering the sequence of gopher holes and gradually smoothing the dirt over each hole a little at a time with a feather in the remembered sequence repeatedly until the gopher holes disappear. So everyone, turn your focus back to your dream. And knowing that nobody can hear you, go ahead and state it out loud. And then for anything and everything that comes up, just be grateful. Be grateful for all the positive and all the negative that just activated. Give a little extra love to that emotion or feeling that you looked at earlier and gave a number to. And as you watch it, I'm going to go ahead and bring the superconscious in. All you need to do is just listen and observe. Yeah, superconscious, please address all resistance, including all parts, predispositions, and structures if available. Yeah, superconscious, please add and subtract neural associations in the neural structure of the behavior system. The emotion system, the kinesthetic system, the verbal system, the heart system, and all the body part systems, including organs, endocrines, and brain systems, to optimize their responsiveness during treatment. Yeah, superconscious, please treat any associated trauma or memory barrier, and then do a massive change history and everything after that. Yeah, superconscious, please do the sentence procedure by continuing to activate this dream into the active experience and tag and address any contradicting memories and parts until when you activate this dream, there are no more memories blocking the dream from being true and experienced in the main personality. And then superconscious, when you're ready, do a massive change history and everything after that. Okay, so everyone in this moment, go ahead and say your dream out loud to yourself again. And then look at that emotion or feeling that you rated and see if that number has changed. And if you feel comfortable sharing, just put in the chat if it went up or went down. Is it more intense and it went up, or is it less and it went down? By the way, there's no right or wrong answer here. There have been multiple times when I do this and my number goes up sometimes first before it comes down. Okay. All right. Take a deep breath. Go ahead and look at that dream again. If you need to say it out loud, feel free. Whatever makes it the strongest, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm just going to bring Superconscious back into this again. Yeah, Superconscious, please address all resistance. All resistance to the dream. Superconscious, please address all memories, parts, predispositions, protector controller if available. Yeah, Superconscious, would you please have a chat with generational fields and address those now? Yeah, Superconscious, please tag and treat any memories, fear, or resistance causing disorganization. Superconscious, please tag and treat any I can't memory structures. Superconscious, please do the sentence procedure on the ideal phrase, such as I am clear, focused, and relaxed, and reinforces many ideal behaviors, beliefs, and emotions associated with this phrase. When appropriate, do a massive change history and everything after that. Hmm. Yeah, Superconscious, we identify all the collages of this emotion or feeling. Then Superconscious, run through the emotion system, treat all the collages in the correct order. Treat the first collage, then follow the associations to the memory elements in 2 and 3, and treat each memory element in the correct order. When finished, do a massive change history and everything after that. And repeat this for this emotion. Yeah, super conscious, please do the sentence procedure by continuing to activate this stream into the active experience and tag and address any contradicting memories and parts until when you activate this stream, there are no more memories blocking it from being true and experienced in the main personality. And then do a massive change history. And everything in body, mind, and ego states. Okay, no rush, everyone. But when you're ready, go check on that feeling or emotion, see if that number has changed. And then let us know in the chat, what is that number? And did it go up or did it go down? Okay, awesome. Okay, we're going to flip this on its head. So I'm going to ask you, same dream, different question. So now say your dream out loud. And we're going to say 0 is, I'm not aligned with this dream at all. I can't feel it. I can't see it. Just nothing. No part of me is for this. 100% is, this is happening and every part of my being knows it. So you want to look inside, gut, heart, brain, doesn't matter, whatever, wherever that number comes up, again, mountain stone, it's going to move. You're looking for a percentage. How much of you is on board with that one dream? Yeah. Yeah, 70%. That's good. I want to make a joke here about Luis being an overachiever. I'm kidding, of course. Yeah, 90% is good. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so you tell me, would you like to sit here for just a second and see if we can get your percentage to go up? Give me a yay or a nay or a thumb. I've got two thumbs. Okay. All right. Carol's a yay. Okay. Awesome. All right. So take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Go ahead and say that dream out loud to yourself again. Activate all the good, the bad, the ugly. Awesome, Alice. Yep. And now just feel into that dream as deeply as you can. Make it as real to yourself as possible. Yeah, superconscious, please address all resistance, including protector controller if available, and include all energetic fields. Yeah, superconscious, please do the sentence procedure by continuing to activate this dream into the active experience and tag and address any contradicting memories and parts until when you activate this dream, there are no more memories blocking the dream from being 100% true and experienced in the main personality. Yeah, and then superconscious. When you're ready, please do a complete massive change history and everything in body, mind, and ego states after that. And superconscious, please ground all these memories into the matrix of creation. Yeah, superconscious going forward, you please tag and treat any disempowering memory or part, and then replace and reinforce positive, self empowering memories in their place. Yeah, and there's no rush, but when you're ready, say that dream to yourself again. See how close to 100% you are. Awesome. Awesome. One of the things I love about this is it doesn't really matter what your numbers do. If your numbers change, you're winning. As I like to say, you're winning. There used to be this video of this little girl. Actually, it might still be around. She saw this jogger on the street and she would just yell out, you're winning at life. I think of her every time we do this. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So take a deep breath and then, just a couple minutes, just share what you're going to do with your dream or what you're thinking about your dream now. If you feel comfortable, there's no pressure.
Well, I had something interesting that I haven't experienced before. When you were talking about aligning, my whole body shifted, and all of a sudden, the back of my skull, it was like it was tingling, it was moving. I could feel something going on. And I've never experienced quite that. I've in the front of my head, yes, not in the back. So I said, what is going on? And it was the back of my chakras lining up. The front
Awesome.
was fine, but not the back. And then it was like there was something in my aura layer that just wasn't. And then I saw the word doubt. And I thought, okay, well, then let's, when you kept talking and said, keep aligning, that's what my body was physically doing now. It was
Yeah.
physically aligning. So that really is a good statement to have
Yeah.
when you do map, because most of us don't feel aligned all the time. We're off. And to remind our bodies, our minds, it's important to be in alignment. That clicked in my case.
Yeah.
And really helped in that aspect. And then it was like it just went poof, it's gone. What I'm going to be doing, well, I've already been in planning. I have some physical things, some dental work being done by the end of next week. After that, the intensity of what I'm going to go through will be over. And I've been gearing my whole plan and my life and around me now, not so much around anybody else. It's like, okay, Carol, what are you going to take care of today? And I've been making more appointments with myself on my phone, I'm scheduling me on my own calendar. Because I notice when I schedule everything else, I seem to 90% of the time make it. But me, oh, I just kind of do it in my head. Well, now I'm solidifying it in my calendar. And so it's like this time is specifically for me to sit down and do whatever I can do or need to do or want to do to put my program together. And
Awesome.
that's really my organization now is with me and not with everything outside of me.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So I look forward to me time now.
Yeah.
Because the me time is going to be the key to get my program together.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Carol. Yeah. I feel like Luis wants to talk. Or I'm just going to call him out of hiding, is basically what just happened.
I was just reading some of the comments and listen carefully to Carol, and you're right. The changes that this procedure, it's amazing. But if you take it to your dream, as we have done with Phil, with Erin, it's just amazing. It's a breakthrough in life. My life was very different last year, and this year is completely in abundance, and it's just opening up in every way. I have a great relationship that I have built through the years, and I feel blessed for that. But sometimes I change as well my career from the financial side to coaching side, and I was kind of just juggling into one and the other, and all of a sudden I just decided to do coaching, and here I am, and now life feels more bright than it was that it looked like last year, and I'm so happy for that. So thank you for sharing, Carol. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Anything else? Or Phil, do you have any comments?
Well, everyone should start levitating around Tuesday.
I'm just gonna say yes to that.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone experienced the session, because this is, once you find out where you want to go, then you know where the blocks are. But it's so important to have a vision. If you don't have a vision, you're like a sailor at sea without a compass and nowhere to go. And most people go through their life. Let me give you a real good example too. One of the first groups I did was with Luis and some other people that were in the MAP program and were spiritually involved and been to a lot of the seminars and all that. But each one of them said they'd all had thought about what their dream was or where they wanted to go, but until they wrote it down, it really didn't mean much and it didn't have any power. And that's one of the things we'll help you do, is help you define what you really, really, really want to do. And it's important you do it now and not procrastinate on it, because we have what I call the 3Ds. We have DEFCON, was the fear of doing it, and dissuasion, where we talk ourselves out of doing it, or distraction. We'll distract ourselves with other things because our ego doesn't want to make any positive transformation. It's here to protect us. And by protecting us, it thinks if we move beyond where we're at, where we're comfortable, then that we'll be making changes that the ego doesn't have any control over. So we're here to create. That's why we came here. Your soul sent you here today. Your soul has a journey that we're all here to undertake. So it's time to do it. It's time now. We're your wake-up call. I love that video. So it's time. Does anybody have any questions about what we do or what the next step is, or questions on the program? It's important that one of the things we'll do, and you can even do this on your own, is what I call think from the end. I want you to go 3 years out from now, and that what you've thought about today and what you mapped, it's already done. It's already an accomplished fact. What's that going to feel like? You're already there, because once we ask, it is given. Once we knock and you shall receive, seek and you shall find. 99.9% of what we ask for is already done in the universe. So all we have to do is get out of the way and let it happen. We're here. Every one of us is here to create something. That's our soul's journey. So we're here to help you do that. Anybody has any questions or needs more information for us? Luis, how would they contact us?
Well, very simple. We're gonna put an email address on the chat, and you can directly contact Phil, Erin, or myself. But you can go directly to that email address, and as well you can go to our landing page, to our home page with all the program, and precisely where you register, we're gonna do as well on the chat. We're gonna place that address so you can go there and review the program. The program is a 16-week program. Let me go through it very fast. We have 16 live lessons. It's not something that you're gonna be recording. It's a live lesson. So we have a lesson every week. And we also, what we incorporated in the Superconscious Dream Building Journey is these type of sessions, the root map sessions that will allow us, at every one of us, to clear those things that are blocking our dreams to come true. What is that? It's a fear, it's a phobia, it's a limiting belief, it's a negative thought, it's an experience that maybe we had in our childhood, and we want to work on that. And these group map sessions are precisely to help you in your fears, in your unworthiness, those kind of things that are really important to take care of. In this area, what we structure is in 6 main areas, where the first thing is how to create your dream. How do you know that your dream is achievable? You know, how to build your vision statement, because you know that your dream is already in you. So basically, the only thing we're going to do is to help you out to materialize that dream that is already inside of you, resolving your fears. You know, how many things do we feel, or how many times do we feel like these resentments and guilt for many other stuff that even we just forgot, put it within our body? We have these emotions just triggering without we knowing. So we're going to be working on setting us free from forgiveness, with forgiveness, and also training our mind for this worthiness, because most of the time, sometimes we feel that we're not worthy, you know, that we're not good enough, that type of thing. So we want to be working on this, and obviously.
Can I jump in here for a quick
Yes, please.
second on worthiness? This is something we kind of gloss over a little bit. In the last couple of years, I've found out how important worthiness is. And of all the people that I've done the program with and mapped, every one of us had a lack or a low sense of self-worth. Everybody did. And that is more important than confidence. If you don't have that self-worth, or that feeling that you're worthy of your dream, I don't care how much confidence you have, you're not going to be able to achieve the dream that you want. This is a very, very important segment that we do, because your worthiness is like the foundation of your house, and your confidence is the house. So we go in and we eliminate any of the blocks that you have of that sense of self-worth, that you believe with your whole heart and soul that you deserve the dream that you're co-creating with the universe. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I think that's a real important point.
No,
And then-
and that's perfect, Phil, because precisely if you want to harvest your dream, you have to work into your worthiness. If not, it will not be, there will be no way. Maybe you have a great dream, you do all the efforts and everything, but as Phil basically mentioned, you know, if you do not connect, do you not align with that worthiness, you will not be able to harvest your dream. So we will let you know how to do that as well. Okay, and then we can go to testimonials, and I have to say that you have 2 live testimonials right here with Erin and myself. But this is very interesting, you know, is how people can let you know that now every week their dream is unfolding just in front of their eyes, you know, and they are only counting all the blessings that they receive every single day just through doing this program with Phil in the dream building journey. And also you have this doctor that basically says, I have already incorporated these teachings into my patient care. And I have really transferring this practice, once based in sickness, and now it is based on joy and gratitude. How does that feel? Just imagine your physician, your doctor, having this approach after realizing that things are different. They are in alignment with worthiness. And what about this one? This is very interesting, you know, because this person basically came with some money blocks. And doing the program and having sessions with Phil, basically says, well, that same week that I took one of the sessions, I received 2 completely unexpected checks in the mail. So I can go on and on with some other testimonials, or even Erin or myself, in things that we have been experiencing since we put in writing, since we keep working on it, and we keep start mapping our unworthiness. Let me just put it in semicolons, and there we are. So now you're probably wondering, how much is the investment? Because this is an investment. At the end, this is an investment. This program is just beautiful, and there is an investment. And you might be wondering on that, but let me put it in a different perspective. And this perspective is, what is the value of your dream? How much is that? Because everything in our mind needs a reference, and we always value things, even if those things are non-tangible. We put a price on that, because sometimes it's time. How much is our time? do you devote too much time? Carol just gave us a beautiful testimonial about his experience during this exercise, this map session, and you notice that she's even having meetings with herself. That is the value of your dream. How do you want to do? So once again, just to let you know, what you will get is 16 live sessions so you can build your dream. We will have 4 group map sessions to clear any blockage that is in your process. We will have a 1 group map session special. This is something that you cannot miss, I have to say. And you will have 24/7 support group that with us. Just so you know, we'll give you a 30-day guarantee. So if you take 4 sessions with us and you don't like the program, no questions asked, we will return your money immediately, no problem. So as Michelangelo mentioned, the greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it's too low and we reach it. That's simple. So now let's be open to questions and answers. Here's Phil, Erin, and myself. How do you feel? You want to join the program? Questions about the program, please do so.
I'll say one more thing. I have a client that I think I told you about that started his business, became $1 million business. Then 2 years later, or about 6 months ago, he bought another business, and he still comes to see me once a month. But I walked him out to his car and he says, you know, I came to see you about 4 years ago and you were telling me all about this. And I looked at you and I said, Phil, I've got to be realistic. And you looked back at me and said, no, you don't. And he said, now I'm living my dream. He just bought $1 million house too. So all things are possible, and you're much, much more powerful than you ever imagined yourself to be. And we're here to help you. We'll do everything we can to work with you. Any questions?
Well, let me share. It was very interesting when I first met Phil. It was kind of an opportunity that I was looking for, but I didn't notice that was just materializing in my life. You know, I wanted to kind of have, let me put it this way, and I'm going to be very, very blunt. I was kind of looking for a Bob Proctor type of mentor, and all of a sudden, Phil just show up in my life. Or I show up in his life, whatever you want to say. And since then, I have to say that my stress life has reduced substantially. I am so relaxed in doing things and having so much joy. I have always been that optimistic, you know, but I have to say that my body was feeling kind of overwhelmed sometimes because I want to do this and that and da. And all of a sudden, I'm just taking things like more easy and relax. Even yesterday, I gave myself an ice cream. I haven't like for months, and I said, yes, let's go for something for me because I'm going to have fun. And I just bought an ice cream for me and my wife. So things have changed, and I think that if you join the program, you will see immediate results in your life in the area that you're looking for, because the mind, when you align the mind, and you help on those limitations or blockages, whatever you want to call them, limiting beliefs. It's just amazing how the mind works. And it's just, you know, the universe is just ready to give you everything that is already inside of you. And the only thing you need to do is to materialize that.
Yeah. And never, ever doubt yourselves. Like I said before, you're much more powerful than you've ever imagined yourself to be.
Yeah, and let me show you once again, this is shorter, what I have done, just so you have an idea of where we're coming from.
I'm not a shrink. I'm a wake-up call. You know why kids love athletes?
Oh, because they screw lingerie models.
No, that's why we love athletes. Kids love athletes because they follow their dreams.
Well, I can't dunk.
No, but you can cook.
What are you talking about?
Your resume says that you minored in French culinary arts. Most students, they work in the fryer at KFC, but you bus tables at Il Picatore to support yourself. You get out of college, and you come and you work here. How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy?
You have to be specific about your dream, that's for sure.